All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 147-pound division and Hollywood at the same time, where Terence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. big, news yesterday was that a date had been released by a cable company. Showtime's executive, head of Showtime Sports, Stephen Espinoza, spoke on that. And also we've got some news about Terence Crawford and what will be happening for him very, very soon. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 147-pound division, where we have some good news and we've got some bad news. And they both revolve around Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford, and the big fight that we wanted to see that apparently doesn't look like it's going to happen anytime soon. But before I get into that, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you are a longtime subscriber and supporter to the channel, as usual, thank you very, 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 very much for your continued support for the channel as we talk about this boxing and one of the more, gone over topics that there is in boxing. But hey, man, we see things through all the way to the end. And so yesterday, if you didn't see my video, give you a little brief on the video. There was some information that was released by Spectrum, which is a cable company in the United States. And they released pay-per-view dates that they had set aside for 2023. In the list that they laid out was June, and that had Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford listed there in parentheses as a fight. It also had Canelo Alvarez, TBD. It had Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia for April 15th. So many people thought that, okay, well, is Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford really back in negotiations to get this fight done? And does that set aside the fight with Keith Thurman? Also, there was a video that was put out by Fight Hype that said that Errol Spence Jr. was back in the gym preparing for Terence Crawford with Keith Thurman as a backup. Now, Stephen Espinoza made a comment on that on Twitter and said, look, that is not right. The June 8th date for a pay-per-view between the two of them. He said that that was probably the dates that were reserved for certain events for Spectrum pay-per-view, and that that might have been done a while ago, and it is not something directly connected to a negotiation for a fight that they're now planning for June. Now, maybe 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, Stephen Espinoza was on Chicken Talk. Shout out to Chicken Talk. Should definitely follow Still Loyal to the Soil, at Still Loyal to the Soil on Twitter. Excellent space with really good conversations go over there. He made an appearance on that space, Chicken Talk space on Twitter, and had pretty much said that their schedule would be coming out after the Super Bowl, and talked about, that there was a likelihood of that there was a possibility that the Errol Spence Jr. fight with Terence Crawford could still take place, but that people could feel fairly confident about buying tickets to a fight in Dallas for the May time frame, unless something really unique happened. So it appears as if, with what he just followed up with, that is more than likely what we're looking at is still an Errol Spence Jr. Keith Thurman fight. Now, I can't explain what that title from Fight Hype was about. Now, I don't have any doubt that Fight Hype has very, very good sources. This is not any type of shot at Fight Hype. I definitely like their channel, like the people involved very, very much. As a boxing fan that relies upon those guys to give really good interviews. I talk about a lot of the interviews they do on their channel, but I don't know necessarily what those guys meant by that, if they have any information or not. It may just be that that's what they were speculating, and it is what it is. However, it doesn't look like, Errol and Terence are going to happen in June. At least not based on the information that we have, that was released in that on that Spectrum release. Now, we do have some other information about Terence Crawford that I think is pretty cool. Provided he doesn't get it, provided there's not a jinx out there, which is that he will be playing, I won't say starring, playing a role in a Creed movie, Creed 3. And he's cast as, according to IMDb.com, he's cast as Lorenzo Nightmare Jones for the Creed 3 movie. Now, I know that's going to bring on a lot of jokes. Like, okay, man, you can Michael B. Jordan can get a fight. Michael B. Jordan can get a fight, but Errol Spence Jr. can't. And I guarantee he didn't get no $10 million for that movie. But trust me, in about a week or two, somebody's going to be saying he got $15 million for that movie. But anyway, man, so the other day when Terence Crawford said, oh, you guys are going to be big mad, maybe that's what he's saying people are going to be big mad about. I still don't get why Terence Crawford thinks people would be mad at seeing him do things where he would be successful. That people have been I've been a fan of Terence Crawford's for a long time, man. I don't have any ill will towards the guy. The only thing is, look, man, we're boxing fans, and the fact that people are your fan, they're fan to see you in boxing matches that they want to see you in. And unfortunately, for one reason or another, that's just not been the case in a good amount of time. So it's kind of like, hey, man, let's get this Errol Spence Jr. fight. But it looks like, hopefully they can revisit it. I personally don't mind this at this point. When the fight originally didn't happen, I was a little hot about it. I ain't lying. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was a little bit hot about it, primarily because of how everything went down. And if Terence Crawford wasn't misleading people, man, there are a whole lot of other people misleading people. And really trying to use the fact that the fight didn't happen is a way to tear down on Showtime, tear down PBC, Al Heyman, and people that, in my assessment, haven't really done anything but give people good fights and done their best to really make boxing a more enjoyable sport to watch for at least the last decade. Actually, Showtime, the network, much longer than that, right? Pretty much as long as, they were around almost as long as Showtime, as HBO boxing was. But they continued on. They didn't leave the sport alone. They continued to show the fights. But, people want to compete with them, or for whatever reason, other networks want to compete with them, or they don't like Al Heyman. Is that part of it that really kind of bugged me. But anyway, man, so I just want to give you that update. A lot of people in the comment section said, hey, man, I will believe that when I see it. And that was my attitude as well. I didn't really want to make too much out of the fact that they had released a date, but, people were talking about it and they're going to ask me what I think about it. So best way for me to do it is to do it in the video, because that's the question. When that stuff came out, that's the question that I'm going to get asked the most. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.